Welcome to the Newb Tewb. I'm Evan Merzero.
Jade over here.
And Evan Lodge over here.
Right. And it's been a more productive week, I think.
Hopefully.
Yeah. What have you guys been up to?
I've been trying to work on Blender, and I actually had a lot of readings this week, so I didn't actually get to finish the second one that I wanted to, the second tutorial. I did finish my first tutorial, which kind of sucked because I had to start over because my file went corrupt, so I had to start over.
Oh, that sucks.
So to be fair, I did do more work than I planned on doing. Anyway, I did work on Blender, so I did do some work. I just didn't get to finish all of it because of bad luck and readings. So
yeah, so I didn't get as much work as I did want to get done either. It's actually, my job is very busy, and it was end of one of my courses this week, so I had to do a couple presentations, but I was going to make a few models, and I got at least the models started, and I have an idea of what I want to do for them, but I'm going to need a little bit more time to get them looking nice.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, yeah, both of you guys, like, we just needed to get back on track,
Mm-hmm.
like, badly, and this is a good step.
And that's why I said that we should do that, and I think
Yeah.
this is a much better idea, and I think we should do that again next week, personally.
Yeah, that's fine, but we'll get to that when we get there. As for me, I got pretty much everything I wanted accomplished done. I just wanted to set a framework and a direction for myself for how I'm going to take this level. I haven't started building it yet, necessarily, but I know the set pieces to it.
So you basically have it all written down, ready to go.
The thing is, I want this level to... This one's going to require the most collaboration between you and I.
Okay.
Because it's going to be very story-intensive. At this point in the game, like... Because this is the level that comes right after the tutorial. Well, tutorial. We're hoping it feels less like a tutorial and more just like a very intensive first level. But we're going to use this level to teach how elemental imbuement works and how powers will work later in the game by introducing them as other elements in the level, like external things, and teaching the players about the plant mechanics and, you know, all the extra things that come as you progress through the game, but we're introducing them in a way where it just feels like puzzle solving. So that, oh man, I wasn't able to do that on my own before. Like, let's say we get to the fire level, and previously you'd had to, like, find a torch and send a bow through the fire to make it fire imbued. Now you just have fire arrows. That kind of thing. But yeah, I've got all that pretty much down. Oh, I also meant to add the tutorial level to the game design document, which we don't have. So... we have the game design document. I should clarify that. We have the document.
Yeah, it's down here. I have it.
It's down
we
there.
have a hard copy.
We have a hard copy. So nobody can, like...
Out?
That's not it. That looks like some official government things.
Who is this?
Official government stuff, confidential,
This is-
don't touch.
Jacob's stuff.
Jacob?
Does he have our binder with the...
Unlikely.
the game
No,
design
this
document?
is mine, I believe.
Oh wait, is that the
This
design
actually might be
document
this, I don't
underneath?
know. This is the... No, these are mine, but that looks like Jacob's.
That's weird.
Yes. I'm not sure why his stuff is in your apartment. He's only been here like 3 times.
That is weird. Anyway, yeah, it's... I've pretty much got the level set as to how I want it to be built. It's just going to take a lot of work between you and me so that we can find the perfect balance. And also, I want to put forward the idea of having the Yeti, or not Yeti, but what were they? I can't remember the name for them, but like those Bigfoot kind of creatures I mentioned having in the first level.
Yes.
I'm thinking maybe we want to keep them as a common enemy throughout the game. And the reason for that is they're meant to be a direct parallel to you and have, or at least you at the start of the game. They have similar
Abilities?
They have similar abilities. Like, they're skilled archers and parkourists and all that kind of thing. Excuse me.
Right.
Still getting... Oh, the cold's gone. It's just all the gunk's still in there.
Yum.
Anyway, the thing is, like, as I was saying, they are you. They're just better than you at being you. This would also mean it would be easier to justify having ammo caches in the game. So, like arrow pickups. Because
Good idea.
both
No, I like
enemies,
that.
the enemies use in their mythology, they wield bows and arrows. So it makes sense. And they're also South American, so it made sense to have them as enemies in the game, and for them to be parallels to the player character. However, we couldn't really figure out how to justify having arrows in every level. If we were just going to make it infinitely spawning, because at one point it was a magical bow.
Still kind of a magical bow.
Still kind of a magical bow, yeah.
Not the
But
same.
it just
kind,
doesn't
but-
barf out arrows.
Yeah.
But then if they were going to be...
I think that's a good idea, and you know what I think we should do?
What?
This is kind of a note for all of us, but we should get some concepts of that creature, because it is... No, what I mean from the internet.
Oh yeah, no, I
From
can
the
find
internet.
you the picture that I
Yeah.
saw.
Exactly. So we take that, we port it over to our artist, and see
Mhm.
if she can do something for us. Because I think that we need to bring everyone back into the fold.
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
So I think it's been a little bit enough time, so we might be able to get our balance out now for classes and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think we could that be a good project to start us off and work our way back into the season.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think that's a brilliant idea, and that's
Thank you.
perfect for ammo for the explanation of ammo.
I'm not sure how I want to have them organized. Like, I'm not sure if they should be
Like a
either-
hierarchy system,
or not
like
not
a-
exactly a hierarchy system, but I'm not sure if I'd want them more militarized, so that there's like actual weapon caches sticking out in places with bows and arrows in them, or if they should just be lying around like you see, kind of BioShock style, where you just see somebody's trash on the ground or something. Like, you just see a sling that's on the ground that somebody dropped.
Yeah.
And that's how you find arrows.
I don't know. I think caches make more sense.
Yeah.
In the sense of arrows. At the same time, you could use the Skyrim method of, oh look, this guy left like 5 arrows out, and that could also make sense in a sort of sense. But
It'd be neat to have just like little hidden spots where like maybe the enemies would, like a spawn point for the enemies where they run out of, and then if you go back and check where the enemies started, then there'd be like a little box full of arrows where they
Yeah.
would have grabbed their arrows
Yeah,
and
exactly.
stashed them and they weren't using them.
This also works pretty well because if we're moving not away from combat focus, but just kind of make it a little more less actiony, more not necessarily stealthy. How would I explain this? We're moving away from intensive combat and closer to one-on-one fights, or if not one-on-one fights, then just very small groups.
Yeah, it's more first-person friendly combat.
Yeah, and if that's the case, we're designing the levels around the fact that you're not a super strong, badass warrior.
At the start.
Yeah, at the start. At least with the first level, where if we have them moving kind of in that typical stealth pattern where two sets of enemies are walking back and forth on a certain path, and you need to find the perfect vantage point to take them out. Have you played BioShock Infinite Burial at Sea?
no, I haven't, not yet.
Get to it, and, well, if you can, you should get to it, and especially Episode 2, because it does take more of a stealth approach. It goes back to... It kind of plays like Thief, like the good Thief games, because...
I was gonna say, you got... Hold on.
Not 2014. I mean the
Thief
ones
Gold?
that... Yeah, like Thief Gold.
That's a
Because
fun game.
Irrational Games used to be Looking Glass Studio, who made Thief and Thief 2. Not Thief 3. I don't think they made Thief 3. Somebody else did that.
Hey, not the point, but...
Yeah. But yeah, Burial at Sea Episode 2 plays a lot like the old Thief games, where there are lots of enemies around, and you can shoot them, but you're weak. Like, you're
Yeah,
not
it's
made
like
to be badass du jour. You're
If
supposed
you tip off
to...
the wrong person, then you just get, like... You get mauled
Kinda
by a
reminds you of
crowd.
Far
Exactly.
Cry.
Yeah.
In a sense,
almost
yeah,
the
it is
same
like Far
idea.
Cry.
Far Cry 3, when you have the bow and you're all like hunting through the...
Yeah,
the
but
Yeah,
Far Cry
yeah.
3 has, like... It's
You're a little more punchable.
You're deceptively capable of just ham-handedly sweeping through an entire base,
Yeah.
just hoping that a tiger comes and helps.
However,
And
fighting
usually-
the tiger itself...
And the tiger's pretty easy. All you need is explosive arrows.
Okay, fine. Fighting a blood dragon, not as easy.
Okay, not as easy.
I am looking forward to playing through the Far Cry series.
I think you'll like it. I think you will
Yeah.
absolutely adore that game.
I'm
that
picking it up
series.
only because you told me that there was Assassin's Creed DLC that ties the universes together in some way.
No, not DLC.
Not
There-
DLC?
There's an Easter egg in one of the Far Cry games that links the Abstergo
right.
universe to.
I know it's Far Cry
universe.
3. I thought it was downloadable content, and then of course I have to get Watch Dogs because Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed 4 are
directly.
basically... Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness.
What's his name? Your boss in AC4 fucks off to Chicago for a little while.
Yeah.
And Chicago's the setting for Watch Dogs.
Well, that's
and
only
you
one
also,
part.
That's only... Right.
There's two Easter eggs. That one part is the boss in AC... You already know this. Also, spoilers. Major spoilers. The boss in AC4 fucks off to Chicago for a bit and then disappears.
Yeah.
That's part one. Part two is that you unlock an email from Bloom Incorporated, which is the big people who make CTOS, selling CTOS to Abstergo.
I love that.
So, yeah.
And then weird thing is you see... I know that there's an Easter egg in Watch Dogs where you can find arcade machines. One of them is an arcade machine that says Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon.
Yeah.
So at the very least, Blood Dragon is a game within a game.
That's actually how it's kind of given off, too.
Yeah.
Because Blood Dragon doesn't really have a lot to do with Far Cry 3, except it's using the same engine and the same sort of premise.
Yeah.
But the story has absolutely nothing to do with the Far Cry universe.
You have to look at Blood Dragon almost like it's one of those really wacky 80s action movies.
Oh, yeah.
Or kind of like what they just did with not Left 4 Dead, not Walking Dead, zombie game, Microsoft exclusive.
Dead Rising?
Dead Rising 3, where it did the super mega whatever thing.
It's a big self-referential parody of Capcom games.
Exactly. It's the same sort of sense that Ubisoft in this particular game said, let's make a parody of 80s games and make it awesome. And they did.
Who was it they got? Wasn't it like Michael Biehn or something like that?
Something like that. It's really good, though. It's a really good game.
Cool.
It's a really good standalone expansion, actually.
Cool. I have the original Far Cry for my PC. Don't know if I can run it yet, but I'll give it a shot. And Instinct's Predators for Xbox 360. So the only things I'm missing...
You could have got the classic collection.
Well, I heard the classic version on consoles was not very good.
I don't know. It actually plays pretty fine on the original Xbox.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind in case my PC copy doesn't work. And even then, I won't be too beat up about it because I only paid $5.
It's the Far Cry collection, right? That's the one that came out.
Not quite. Far Cry collection or compilation, one of those things. It has 2, 3, and Blood Dragon.
Okay.
And I think 2 is on disc. Or maybe it's 2 and 3 that are on disc. I don't know. Either way, I need to pick up Far Cry Vengeance for the Wii, and then the compilation, and then I can just play through the whole series.
And then 4 comes out next month. November, sorry.
Yeah. But I won't get that until I get either a PS4 and Xbox One.
I'm looking forward to that game, too. It looks kind of interesting.
It's probably going to be the PS4.
PS4.
Xbox.
It's going to be the PS4.
Xbox is cheaper.
And?
I personally like the Xbox more.
Well, the thing is, I have more of a vested interest in getting the PlayStation 4 for one reason in particular. Assassin's Creed 4 has the most content on the PS4, and I always go for the version with the most content.
Okay, but what about Assassin's Creed Unity?
Well, we don't know yet for sure. Although it does look interesting. It looks like they're going to be veering off into the Xbox.
For that one game, though. I think it's only that one game. Because Far Cry... What are we on? 4? Far Cry 4 is coming out with a bundle version on the PS4.
Okay.
That was just announced like yesterday or something like that. But so it looks like that game is going to be more PlayStation oriented, but I think Rogue 2 and Unity are going to be more oriented on the Xbox. Only from like the tech demos at E3 and Gamescom and stuff. Normally they play it on the system that they're supporting, and this year around they did it on the Xbox, which I think was really different. Normally they wouldn't. Normally they'd say, let's do it on the PS4 because they did Watch Dogs on the PS4.
Yeah.
They had all the Assassin's Creed demos in previous years on the PlayStations, right? So having Unity on the Xbox One for your demo raises a flag to me, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I'm not going to get an Xbox One, too. Like, I'm going to get everything, just like I did last generation. Whether or not I keep it all, that's up in the air. But I am going to get everything at some point.
Wii U is the next on my list, so...
Good call. They just came out with another new bundle for Super Mario 3D
Yeah,
World.
I know, we have it.
I like it. If I hadn't gotten the new Super Mario Bros. Bundle last Christmas, I would have bought this one instead.
I'm going to wait until Boxing Week, probably.
Yeah, good call.
I know it's been 2 years now, and I think the consoles this gen sorry, what are we on 8?
Yes.
8 gen consoles might have a sale this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my feeling. It's a gut feeling, and my gut feeling on electronic sales are usually right.
That's when I'm hoping to pick up a PlayStation 4 again.
Yeah, as soon as I can get... I'm still not quite sure when I'm going to get a PS4 or Xbox One. I think when I see them start considering new models, then at that point I might invest in one of the older
honestly,
ones.
I think it really depends on what you're going to do with it. If you're more going to play multiplayer, go Xbox. Obviously. Seriously, though.
Yeah,
like if you're gonna go multiplayer, go Xbox.
Well, I would do that anyway because, like, I don't know anybody who has a PS4. You had one, Lodge, and you got rid of it.
Man.
But you have an Xbox One, so already there's an advantage to getting an Xbox One if I want to play with somebody else.
I've got
Big if.
a list of people that I've been playing with, including Wilson, a couple guys from work, and like, actually, I got a couple of more guys at work. I almost got another guy at work convinced to buy an Xbox One.
See, if
This close.
if Assassin's Creed Unity does turn out to be better on Xbox One,
I saw a video about that, but we're getting a little off topic. But just finish your tangent there for a second.
yeah, if it does happen to be better on Xbox One, then for sure I will buy it for Xbox One, and I will gladly play the co-op missions with you and whoever else you want to bring in. Maybe we can convince Devin to invest in one.
Not happening.
Not happening.
He's not going back to consoles.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He
He's
just
a PC
invested
gamer.
almost $3,000 into a new computer, so...
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
I advised him on what parts to buy. He's got
Nice.
one hell of a computer now.
Yeah, he's not going back to consoles.
Okay,
Ever.
fair enough. I just said him because we had that long discussion with him about
I've got
AC2.
I've got 2 people.
Okay.
I've got people lined up. I've got a list of people who are ready to play Assassin's Creed Unity.
Right on.
Like I know people. The Xbox One to me is the social console. That's what it feels like to me because I know
Although
more
it's-
people with the Xbox One.
It's interesting that you say that. I can't remember. What was it? Ben was telling me the other day that the split for Destiny is more towards the PS4 than the Xbox One.
Yep.
Which
Which Lodge and I were talking about that before you got here.
that's interesting. I would have expected an even divide.
The support is on the PS4 though.
Yes, the support.
You got to
is on the
remember
PS4.
that it's been marketed for PS4.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
it's in bundled with PS4. So you got to remember that is a
Well,
big factor.
You
It was
say
a limited
that
bundle.
it was a very limited bundle, but yeah, it was we got rid of all of ours in the first day, and not any of them had been pre-ordered or anything like that. Not that I'd have the money for anything like that, but a white PS4 looks really, really good.
Anyway, we're off topic a little bit, so let's get back towards our game. Just a bit. Let's just veer back in a little bit.
Well, what else left do we have to talk about? We all said our thing about what we're doing, or about what we've done.
I guess it's XP challenges.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh.
I gotta mention one thing though. You last week, before we started recording, told me I should check out Star Wars Clone Wars.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and at first I was extremely reluctant because animated Clone Wars. It felt like to me when I was looking at it, not when I was watching it, when I looked at it as an outsider perspective, it just felt like one of those money grab sort of things. Let's just roll on with this and keep going. I didn't know I didn't know if it was animated well. I assumed it was animated poorly not because it was Star Wars, but more because it's one of those shows that, it just feels like a money grab. They're making it so people will watch it, right? Now, as someone who's now watched almost 2 seasons of it...
What? In a week?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I told you I had a lot of readings. I turn the thing on. It's on the screen. I'm reading. I look up. I'm reading. I look up. I'm able to do this in between class, work, reading.
Okay.
Anyway, not the point. Yeah. So good. It's just so good. Like,
Told you.
it's got the feel of Star Wars perfectly. It's got the right mood to it. And if you take not each individual episodes, but if you take each story, because the story lasts a couple of episodes usually,
Yeah.
it's the same length as a Star Wars movie almost.
Now, it's interesting you say that, because the Clone Wars movie, which came out first,
Haven't seen it, but sorry.
it was originally the first arc of the show.
Yes.
And they decided, well, we could pump this out earlier if we turn it into a movie. So they did. It's literally just the first 3 or 4 episodes that they were going to put out, but just edited together to be a movie. For better or worse. I don't particularly like the movie. You'll understand when you see it. But
I know it involves huts.
It does involve huts. It does involve huts.
I don't know if I want to tarnish it, because what I've seen so far is actually really good.
Yeah, I know. It's just the movie... I saw it in theaters.
Lackluster, I suppose.
It's a lot of people really hated it. When it first came out, it has a lower score on Metacritic than any of the prequel trilogy movies.
Whew.
It's not that bad. It's really not. I watched all of the Star Wars things in a marathon run when I picked up the Clone Wars TV show. Started with episode 4, watched everything. And that includes all those old cartoons, and the Christmas special, and the Ewok TV specials. They're terrible.
I remember the old animated TV
Oh god,
show
I hate those shows.
with C-3PO and R2-D2.
Yeah, droids.
I think I have some VHS tapes at my house.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh god. I hate that show so much.
Anyway, but let me get into the Clone Wars though.
Yeah. Anyway, the Clone Wars movie, not nearly as bad as those.
Okay.
It's significantly better than any of the prequel trilogy. Although they make some very head-scratching decisions. I'm just going to say electric guitar.
Okay.
You'll understand when you hear it.
Okay. However, again, the Clone Wars series though, it's got the perfect mood.
Yep.
It's not too kiddie either. It's barely kiddie actually. And that's surprising to me because it's supposed to be a kid's show, you know? But
Well,
it feels just like regular Star Wars.
Yeah. That's
The only kid bit that I feel is that little message that pops up at the very beginning in the blue text that teaches you what the lesson is of the episode. But if that wasn't there, it would just feel like Star Wars. Like it would feel like the Old Republic. You know, like it's so Star Wars. And I know my Star Wars. Star Wars is one of my mythos bubbles that I know so much about. And I thought, by the way, that Mandalore thing isn't as bad as you make it. As you
I
tried to
just
explain.
said the facts. I just straight up said the facts.
Yeah.
I remember when I had told Stephen, so the Prime Minister of Mandalore, and he flips with a loud, what?
Yeah, anyway, your explanation of Mandalore, yeah, it's not as bad as it makes it out to be. It's okay.
I tried to say that. Nobody ever listens to me.
Yeah.
Except in this case where I actually did.
I did. I watched it. It's actually really, really good. And it's animated amazingly. Like, you should watch this just to get, like, Lodge. You should watch this to get
I was planning on it eventually.
appreciation of how well this was animated.
I'm sorry you don't have a lot to say about it in this podcast, but man, you should follow him. Watch the show. It's really good.
No, like,
I will.
I thought it was going to be animated poorly. Again, like I said. But it's animated really well. Like, and it's got this weird texture, cell shading sort of feel to it, but it's not cell shading, it's something to the left of cell shading or something. Like, it's...
Yeah, I can see where you're coming with that.
It's got this paintbrush-like feel.
Yeah, right?
Right? But, anywho, it's really good.
You haven't seen anything yet. Like you said, you've watched, like, the first 2 seasons. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Okay.
You gotta see the... Wait till they get to Mon Cala.
Okay.
Oh my god, the Mon Cala section. It's a little dry, which is funny for an entire set of episodes that take place underwater. It is kind of dry. It's eh.
There have been a couple dry episodes already.
Young Akbar shows up, and I was like, "Say the thing! Say the thing! Say the thing! Say the thing!" And he says the thing.
Of course, he says that's a fan service. Also, I'm noticing a trend
Yeah.
of I've got a bad feeling about this.
Yep.
I'm noticing a trend, and I'm also remembering it in the regular Star Wars movie series, but still, like, I'm noticing a trend. Whenever they say, I've got a bad feeling about this, something.
They were very consciously aware of the drinking game when they were writing this show.
But anywho, I would suggest anyone to actually check it out if you're a Star Wars fan, because it's actually really well done.
I'm trying to think of some other really good arcs that come up.
Actually,
99! Poor 99!
when you say I've got a bad feeling with this, back to the Old Republic, when you play as a Sith warrior, your first follower you get is a Twi'lek, and that's like the main thing she says when you're in an area where you're very close to being in combat. She always goes, "I got a bad feeling about this."
Do the Twi'leks in the Old Republic have French accents too?
No, most of them have.
Most of them speak native Twi'lek.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Some of them have French accents, but that's usually on the planets where everybody has a French accent.
Yeah, I don't know if you picked up on this yet,
no, I did.
but all the Twi'leks are French.
Yeah, I know. I saw
They're
that.
really bad French too. Like
Yeah.
borderline Pepe Le Pew French.
I just remembered another point that I want to bring up. I like how they treat it as a war movie.
Right? Like, I love that opening narration at the start.
You know, old-fashioned war movies where it's like, victory on the European front and all those things?
Yeah.
They do it like that at the very beginning to do a recap, and it's awesome.
It is! It's really, really good!
And I stopped treating this as Star Wars after a point. I stopped treating it as Star Wars. I started treating it as Clone Wars propaganda. And when I watched it as Clone Wars propaganda, it felt completely different.
Yeah. That is...
No, take an episode and instead of watching it as Clone Wars next time, like, just watch a random episode, treat it as the Republic propaganda for the Clone Wars,
yeah, no,
and it's gonna feel so much better.
I was just watching... They released some... a couple days ago, they released some unfinished episodes. They're still 22 minutes in length or whatever. They just weren't animated all the way. All the sound's there. All the voice acting is there. It's all there.
Animating is the most expensive and time-consuming part.
They didn't have the budget to put it out with the rest of the Netflix season, so they released the unfinished versions online for free. And I can see exactly what you mean. Like, what if this is just propaganda? It does take on a very interesting tone if you look at it like Republic propaganda. Although you can only really do that with some episodes.
Yeah, there's some that you can't.
There's very clear, like the first episode of the show with Yoda. That is Republic propaganda.
Yeah.
But then you get the episodes where Palpatine is there being all, oh, spoiler alert, Palpatine is a Sith.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hey man, there's some kids who generally haven't seen Star Wars yet.
More than you think now.
Actually,
That's
you know
unfortunate.
Daniel, right? The guy who's supposedly doing our music.
Yes.
He's never seen the original trilogy.
What?
I know, right? My brother just loaned him my DVDs.
I don't know if we can work with them anymore.
I know, right? I think we're going to have to instate a rule. Everybody working with us or for us has to have seen the original Star Wars trilogy.
I don't know. I think that should be a rule,
I
personally.
think that should be a rule for working anywhere.
Yeah, I honestly do.
Rule number 1, you must have seen Star Wars. If not, there will be a mandatory company viewing party.
There will be a mandatory 6-hour-long viewing. Sorry, 9-hour-long viewing.
Yeah. Oh man, do you still have the VHS tapes?
Somewhere.
Let's. Okay. I can't find mine. I know I have them, but I can't find mine.
Anyway,
We'll go with those cuts.
I also want to wrap this into something that's upcoming. Rebels
Yes,
looks interesting.
it does look.
I don't know what to
interesting.
think of it yet, but it does look interesting. It's after Order
66.
Order 66.
Oh my god! When they execute Order 66 in the show,
They execute Order 66 in the show?
they bring it up, and
Oh man,
I'm just gonna let you get to it.
I want to get to it now. Anyway, Rebels looks interesting, and I think I'm gonna try to watch it.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna watch it on TV, just because I haven't. The only TV show that I've kept up with as it comes out is Agents of Shield, and that's only because I'm not buying the DVDs.
Let's not start that conversation.
No, we'll be here for another half hour.
Anyway, challenges for next week.
Yeah.
Let's do that before we go on to an hour. Okay, so anyone got anything? What do you want to do for the next week, Lodge? Okay, what do you want to do for the next week, Merzero? Okay, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna start us off. So I want to finish the next tutorial. I'm not gonna go so far as to say I'm gonna do 2 tutorials this week. I'm gonna say 1 tutorial next. But I also think we should start working on the script
Yeah.
for the game. So I think let's get, if it's double spaced, let's say 2 pages. Sound good? Sound reasonable, or does it sound too low?
I've never written a script before.
Yeah, so...
I've written lots of essays. I can
Yeah.
do that. It's just I've never written a script.
Yeah, so let's...
I have a different suggestion, actually.
Okay.
Instead of script, start with Suddenly I forget the word.
Storyboard?
Storyboard, yeah. Start with storyboard.
I love how I got it from these hand gestures of thing in front of comic looking.
Yes.
For those of you who aren't in this room, he's just looking at his hands like he's got blood on them. Except he's got a doofy stoner on his face.
But storyboard would be a better place to start than a script, because with the storyboards, you can place out the way you want the action. You don't even need to say what has to be said. So you can decide, like, oh, dialogue goes here, instead of deciding what they're actually going to say during the dialogue.
Okay, how about that? How about we do one page of the storyboard collaboratively if we can?
Yeah. How about this?
One page is actually pretty small. One page is like 3 frames, 3 pictures.
Oh, okay, so they're a lot
like
smaller.
3 pages.
Okay, how about that?
How about this? Let's just work on it. Like,
Okay.
let's aim to get some headway on this, and then figure out the direction we want to take with it.
Okay, I think that's a good idea for the two of us.
What the hell? Okay. My screen locked up very briefly, and now it's working. Everything's fine.
Okay.
It's all fine.
Do you have anything?
Yeah, I was just gonna say let's work on the story.
Okay, so, how about you?
I'm gonna see if I can make up a neat little model for the bow for the main character.
Oh, cool. That's a good idea. We
yeah.
haven't had that yet, so that's great.
I don't know how I would want the bow to look.
I went through this process with myself the other day, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to go something classical or something more fantasy oriented.
Maybe I'll just try some sketches of the bow and see what you guys think.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. You
Okay.
can always go with the. You know what you can do is just make a normal bow shape, and then you can model on top of it from there.
Yeah, that's also true, but
That doesn't take any effort. It's like plain bend.
I wouldn't be sure if we wanted to look plain or if we wanted to be straight up. This is a mystical bow passed down from
No, I meant
generations.
plain, as in object plane.
Oh,
yeah, I'll make some sketches. That way we can sort of like pick a couple ideas, and then I can make those ideas and see how they actually look.
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds like a good plan.
sure.
Okay, playlist of the week.
Playlist.
Oh man, you go blank.
No, I had something. That's
Anything?
the problem. I had something.
Oh, I'm just gonna go with one of my classical favorites. It's going Amerika by Rammstein.
Oh,
Love that song.
Okay, you've gone German this week.
Yes, I have.
no, it's not. It's not a German song.
Yeah, it is. Amerika is German
Oh
song.
shit. That's right. There are German.
Rammstein?
I've only ever. Oh, I know the band is German. I just thought the lyrics were English.
No, there are some English words in it, but it is an American song.
Yeah,
Or a
actually,
German
there's
song.
a lot of new German words are English words because there's no way to turn it into a German word.
Like Mickey Mouse.
Well, that's a name.
My point remains.
Okay, cell phone is handy,
Huh. Cool. That sounds like the British term for
and
it.
that's kind of where it goes from. Anyway, anything music.
Oh yeah, I'm really digging that new Weezer single.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you heard it?
not yet.
It's really good. I really like it. I'm not a Weezer fan like at all, but I really like the new song. It's called Back to the Shack. It's got this weird, almost hip hop kind of, what's the term? Flow. It's got this weird hip hop like flow to the chorus.
Mm.
It's really good. I really recommend that once the podcast goes up tomorrow night, you should check out the playlist and listen to this. Also, that's one thing I've been doing is collecting all the songs we put in the playlist and putting them into one big playlist on my own YouTube account.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Neat.
Let's see. Song for me. Hey, that's a good idea. Song about myself. Is that
Song of myself?
Song of myself. Nightwish
Oh, okay.
from the Imaginarium.
I don't think I've heard
album.
this one.
It's
song.
okay. You know Poet and the Pendulum. That song.
Maybe.
It's like 10 minutes long. It's got like the different movements to it.
He's
same
not, He's
idea.
not
Oh, God,
all up
maybe
on
not.
the newer Nightwish.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
not at all.
You do old Nightwish then. Tara.
I think
Let
he
me
mostly
see.
just
My
doesn't.
frame of reference for Nightwish is what we were listening to in 2008.
Old Nightwish.
Old Nightwish.
I think this was just when their new singer was coming in, or just after Tara left, rather.
Yeah, so the
Poet and the Pendulum.
the album with Annette.
Poet
Yeah, that's her
Poet
name.
and the Pendulum.
Yeah. Do they
Hey,
have a different singer for Imaginarium?
No, same singer for Imaginary.
Because I know that Annette left.
The new album coming out either next year or the year after should be the newer singer.
I think the newest song that I remember is attached to a memory of just hanging out with you guys, probably in your bedroom, playing something, probably playing Halo 3 online.
Probably playing Halo 3 online.
And I can't even remember the rest of the song, I just remember the chorus.
Yeah.
Amaranth.
Sorrow. Something like that.
Just one word.
Yeah, just the one word.
I don't
Anyway.
think it's the right word.
I don't think that was even the right tune.
That's Amaranth. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Song of Myself, I believe, by Nightwish. It's off the Imaginarium album. I'd also recommend you listen to it.
Sure.
Because it's...
Like I said, I listened to...
I might just pull it up after the podcast is over, so...
I listened to all the songs in the playlist just because they're mostly songs I haven't heard. And also the first playlist we did, we were so vague about what we were looking for that I just had to go onto YouTube and find something that matched.
I don't even remember what the first playlist songs we did.
It was death metal.
Yeah.
We had some kind of death metal theme that we were going with. Like, one of them was death metal Tetris, the other was death metal God Save the Queen. I couldn't even find them. I had to deal with someone's cover that sounded like a Queen cover of God Save the Queen or something like that. And then I had to go with Neil Peart playing the Hockey Night in Canada theme for... I couldn't find a death metal version of it. Or a metal version of it, which is surprising.
So, that has been the Newb Tewb for the week. Again, we are New.B Studios from Fredericton, New Brunswick. Please check us out on Facebook, on Twitter, and like and subscribe to this video. Yeah, I think that's it for the week, guys.
Yes.
The title of this episode will be May the Thing Be With You.
Yes!